back to Otaku Evolution! Once again, I'm Mike, Penguin Truth, and we're going to continue to look at 2001's Cyborg 009. Last time we looked at Shotaro Inishomori's Cyborg heroes in the incarnation that aired on Cartoon Network's Toonami block back in the day, and specifically we looked at their fight with the nefarious Black Ghost organization. After the initial bout with Black Ghost, our Cyborg heroes encounter a group of mysterious beings who model themselves as the Greek gods, including Apollo, Artemis, Poseidon, Hera, and others. Working with them is a scientist called Dr. Gaia, who wants to guide them into remaking the world by purging it first of war-making humans. The cyborgs take the fight to their headquarters on an island off of Greece, and several encounters occur. Artemis shows herself as being sympathetic to the plight of the cyborgs, or at least not as brutal as her fellow gods, which displeases Gaia, and his actions ultimately lead to an explosive, fiery finale in a volcano laboratory. This arc is unique in that it gives us a rare battle between 001 and an opponent using psychokinetic powers. It's short, but you have to understand the little baby cyborg is usually just sleeping in 003 or Dr. Gilmore's arms, so that's pretty neat. Anyway, the arc is more about the relationship between Apollo and Artemis. I just wanted to highlight this bit for fun. After this arc, there's the two-parter with the aliens, or beings from an alternate reality, whatever they were supposed to be. They pull the cyborgs into their conflict with a group of hostile alien invaders that have been taking over their home, who they refuse to combat. 002 basically bullies them into fighting back, but we're left with the impression at the end that now that they've gotten used to combat, it's not necessarily a good thing. It's a weird little storyline. Then you have a lot of strange done-in-one episodes of varying quality. One involves some kind of blue beast that has been attacking people across the globe as some kind of, a defense mechanism of the Earth itself. The episode features 005, who is torn between wanting to see justice done to people who would exploit natural resources to the detriment of others, but also values humanity, even those of the exploiters. There's no real resolution either. The beast just kind of disappears after being challenged. There's an episode where the cyborgs go to a completely computerized city that they feel uneasy in, especially when things begin to go wrong. This is because the central computer apparently has fallen in love with 003 and has it out for 004.
Are you alright? That monorail car nearly crushed you, 004. You were lucky.
Yeah. Look.
This may sound strange, but I think it was aiming for you.
But I think my favorite episodes are two that focus on our lead, 009. One sees the titular cyborg's acceleration mode malfunctioning to where it's now on all the time. This causes Joe to experience time differently than everybody else, who seem to be at a standstill to him. He waits to what to him is a month before things return to normal, becoming increasingly agitated in the meantime.
I've got to snap out of it. Get a grip. I've been used to being alone ever since I was a little child. I don't need imaginary company. Hey! Over here! Come back!
009? Why are you shouting? Is there something wrong?
The other episode has Joe traveling across a mountain with a little girl who knows things about him she couldn't possibly. During the night of the Tanabata, she is able to travel through time, and she sends Joe into the past to, it's not quite clear. I think he meets a little girl there who was supposed to be his mother as a child. Or was the child he was traveling with his mother? Either way, it's a great episode because it shows a lot of the personal feelings of 009 that he leaves unaddressed most of the time. Let's talk about Professor Gilmore for a little bit. As I've established, he was a scientist who worked for Black Ghost before turning on the group and helping the 9 cyborgs. We're given a flashback to a younger, more driven Gilmore. So driven, in fact, that he ignores his morality to continue pushing cybernetic research to its limits, before finally realizing he's thrown away his humanity for his twisted science. Gilmore is usually portrayed as being a warm, father-like figure, but it's good to see his flaws now and then, like when he transformed 008's body in the last arc, not realizing how the cyborg might act losing more of his humanity. He comes to regret his decision, but is forgiven because it's an effective upgrade. And it's good to see that he is at least called out for it. Now, you might have noticed that there are some dark shades in this colorful series about bright robot men with special abilities. But like I said in the last video, there are some differences between the approach to this and the approach of, as I mentioned, Kakaru the animation. There's a lot of tragedy in this show, sometimes even bordering on hopelessness. But there's always a sense of wonder and light to the show that keeps it from being pulled under by the weight of its own self-importance. It doesn't dwell solely on the negative. The cyborgs have tragic lives, but there are moments of peace and tranquility, of exploration and exhilaration, to keep it from becoming tragedy-born. There's even beauty in the sadness, and sometimes just plain heartwarming feelings.
I was a failure in my country. I'm too ashamed to go back.
I went through a lot myself, and I'm not planning on going back home either.
You don't get lonely?
When I miss my home, I cook meals from my village. And that reminds me of all the people and the places that I left behind. That's one way I can still feel the warmth of my village. And then, somehow, I feel a lot better. It's amazing how food can bring you right back to a place in your memory.
The show's main plotline ends a few episodes before the actual final episode, leaving the last 3 episodes as an unfinished miniseries that appears to be set in a different continuity, given the aforementioned conclusion. I guess you can squint hard enough to see it as a follow-up, but it's a strange little creature of an arc. First of all, it begins with Shotaro Inishomori being visited by Gilmore. Inishomori is stunned to learn that all the tales he's been creating of the cyborg heroes have been psychically suggested to him by 001 from the future. Gilmore relates a story of an event that will happen in the future. Apparently, a researcher has been using his psychic daughter to find artifacts, but has been taking all the credit. His daughter, Hisui, is incensed by this and begins to use her abilities in public, attracting a large following and referring to herself as Himiko. The cyborgs are all thrown into turmoil by the miracles she's been doing and the feelings they've been getting. They're summoned to a mysterious island where they fight demons that feed on their aggression, sent by Himiko to convince them to turn to her. 001 gives the team a pep talk and awakens something in his comrades, allowing them to take down the creatures easily with their new abilities. The cyborgs take the fight to a floating island in the sky, where they face off against Himiko and, things. And that's it. They prepare to fight the monsters, and Gilmore wraps up the story by telling Inishomori that the battle continues. But of course the battle doesn't continue, because the show is over. I don't see the point of really anything in this arc, but especially Inishomori and Gilmore's interaction at the beginning. Why am I telling you the finale of the entire series when I went out of my way not to tell you the end of the Black Ghost arc? Because it's so pointless. It doesn't really give or take from anything you might be spoiled about. It's not the real end, it's just a to be continued that never gets continued, because no more was ever made after this. Ah well. Cyborg 009 is a pretty good show overall, but I wouldn't list it among my favorites or anything. I think it deserves another shot on television or streaming. It's certainly better than pretentious crap like Cyborg. I haven't seen 009 vs. Devilman or Call of Justice, so maybe I'll check those out at some point. Until then, if you can find it on Blu-ray, maybe consider buying it. It may go on a little longer than necessary, but I like the general tone and old-timey sci-fi elements in it. Well, that wraps up my look at Cyborg 009. I hope that you enjoyed it, at least enough to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Next time on Otaku Evolution, I'll be looking at another show that aired on Cartoon Network. Until then, I have a little bit of diplomacy to deal with here. Anyway, see ya!
That looks good. Did you make it yourself?
Cooking reminds me of home.
Me too.
really tough to relax, my stony co-conspirator. Just looking at you is making me nervous. Go play the arcade game.
My shoulders are heavy with the concerns of my people, General. I can't afford to be idle as you are.
Hey, I'm doing plenty of work, buddy. I just laid down the gauntlet to your brother. Aren't you curious to see if he picks it up? I know I am.
My curiosity in such matters pales in comparison to my desire to see the Lithos treated properly. Too long have we...
Yeah, shut up about it already, I get it. You guys are the protectors of the Zwellian's various secrets, and you want to be recognized. You know, it wouldn't kill you to divulge some of those secrets to the Penguin Union.
And lose my bargaining power? I think not, my fleshy negotiator.
Oh-ho, you're catching on quick. Well, pay no mind to my idleness. My mind's already working out a way to move your people into a better position with the Zwellians. And all I want in return is a parking spot. For this right pretty fortress you're standing in right now.
We will see, General.
Oh, I know we will. In the meantime, have a drink or something. You look like you're about to tear my limbs off. I need at least 2 to write anime reviews.
Just one question, General.
What's that?
What is anime?
Man, you need to get out.